We wanted Lolita Miku, and instead, Taito gave us this. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Solaris Japan channel. It's Mandy back here with you again. Today we're continuing our Hatsune Miku fashion figure series. We've already gone over subculture, sporty, and uniform, so check out those videos if you haven't seen them yet. Today's video is about the fourth release from this line, Part 4, Lolita. So far, we've seen Taito do a pretty good job with their fashion figure line. With styles that are accurate to their original inspirations, it's crazy that this is what they brought to us for the Lolita figure. We have to call it what it is, an overexposed, Christmas-looking mess. Even making it pink, which is slightly better, can't fully save it. Interestingly, other figures in this same line have done Lolita better. The newly released country figure is giving country Lolita vibes, and even the subculture Jidaike figure is somewhat closer to hitting gothic Lolita. And there are other Miku figures that are unintentionally way more Lolita than this one. Some of them also done by Taito. Basically, this figure doesn't hit any of the key elements of a Lolita outfit, aka cord, like headgear, silhouette, or accessories. But if you're confused about this figure or its backlash, we're here to explain. Vladimir Nabokov's infamous novel introduced the name Lolita into popular culture. It's about a middle-aged man's obsession with a 12-year-old girl, so surprise, it was highly controversial upon its release and even banned in multiple countries. The term Lolita adopted the meaning of seductive young girl, which has made its way into media and literature. But Lolita fashion emerged decades after the book came out. Obviously, it developed a negative connotation with many misconceptions about the fashion's intent because of Western media. But in Japan, discourse instead built upon the country's romanticized girls' culture. Lolita came to represent a sweet and adorable young girl, without all the creepy undertones. In fact, a lot of people in Japan aren't even aware that Lolita is associated with the book. So a lot of Lolitas have had to take part in some damage control, both online and in real life. The Lolita style originated in Japan in the 70s and 80s. At the same time, a kawaii youth culture rise was happening as well. Japan's otomike, or maiden style, which emphasized femininity and innocence, helped shape the evolution of Lolita's fashion. Around the same time, woman empowerment movements began to take off, especially in the Harajuku neighborhood of Tokyo, a popular spot for Lolitas to hang out. In its early days, brands offered romantic, youthful looks that emphasized femininity without sexualization. Eventually, it picked up in popularity and started appearing in fashion magazines aplenty. This also led to the style developing more official rules, but for a moment there was nothing super concrete. Which could be a big reason why there are so many different sub-styles of Lolita. With overall heavy inspiration taken from Victorian and Rococo styles, characteristics include petticoats, frilly dresses, lace, and accessories like bonnets and parasols. The style was adopted by Japanese pop musicians in the visual kei scene, who dressed up in elaborate costumes with a nod to historical fashions. Aesthetics are also inspired by classic literature like Alice in Wonderland and European doll imagery. Even 50s style prom dresses with their over-the-top skirts are part of the influence of modern-day Lolita fashion. Classic Lolita follows the historical influence the closest. Floral prints, muted colors, and an overall less cutesy, more elegant look. Sweet Lolita is one of the most popular substyles. It focuses on more playful and whimsical motifs with hearts, sweets, cute animal prints, etc. More poof and voluminous skirts add to that youthful look. Gothic Lolita combines Lolita and Japanese Gothic styles of the 90s. More experimental and dark, the palette is mostly blacks, purples, and dark reds. Accessories include crosses, bats, and spiderwebs. A more experimental take on Lolita. Tons of other substyles also exist, like punk, country, casual, and ero. Lolita fashion brands began their rise in the 90s. These brands played a huge role in furthering the movement and making it more accessible to a broader audience. By the early 2000s, a dedicated magazine called Gothic and Lolita Bible, which was translated into English, helped spread the style into the mainstream. At the core of Lolita fashion is women's desire to dress for themselves without catering to other people's opinions. Unlike a lot of other fashion trends, Lolita is a lot more modest, with clothing that usually covers the entire body. It's a form of self-expression, empowerment, and rejection of the male gaze. The style also challenges the stifling nature of Japanese society, where young people are pressured to fit these societal expectations and gender roles. And it's not only about fashion for a lot of Lolitas, it's a lifestyle too, with behaviors and values that go along with it. The community, though, is known for being a little strict, especially with newcomers. Being part of the subculture comes at a high cost. These fashions can get really expensive. The right way to do Lolita isn't exactly the most accessible, and if you go out and try to do things your own way, you're probably gonna get looked down on a little bit. In pop culture, Lolita's aesthetic has appeared both within Japan and internationally, whether it's film and TV, anime and manga, or music. And eventually, it made its way to the figure world too. There are plenty of Lolita-inspired figures out there, spanning multiple different series and characters. Good Smile, Fudu, Kotobukiya, and tons of other brands have jumped on this trend too. Some of them more accurate than others, but more reminiscent of the Lolita style for sure. So all these figures out and more, our expectations for Lolita Miku were high, but they just couldn't get it right. Taido's Lolita fashion figure is designed by an artist named Nin Yu. Their style includes a lot of short skirts, cutouts, and exposed skin. But they have done some traditional style Lolita art in the past. It's possible that the artist was just given a general theme and then asked to design this Miku without much other information. This can be difficult to do because, of course, you have to follow the theme, but still incorporate your own elements as an artist. The artist's roots lies in doujin art, so it makes sense that we got this more idol-inspired Miku with more of their personal style and their touches. But the main point of controversy here is that when you call something Lolita, you kind of expect it to look Lolita, especially given the modest nature of Lolita and where it stems from and what it represents. The skin overexposure and the lack of essential Lolita elements is kind of unforgivable for a lot of people. Also, the color was a huge point of contention because it's not what you imagine when you think of Lolita. Some were satisfied with the color change with the pink version in the online exclusive variation, but like we said earlier, it doesn't fix the other issues. Last year, Miku actually collabed with a Japanese apparel brand to create a Lolita dress with this matching illustration. This would have been a pretty cool vibe and inspiration for them to pull from. What do you guys think about Lolita Miku? Is it truly an abomination, or are we all being a little too harsh? Let us know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Our next video in this Hatsune Miku fashion figure series will be Punk, which is another controversial one, so look out for that. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below, and with that, we will see you next week. Bye!